What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael. I'm from the White Razor Plays channel. I've sort of neglected this channel and left it as sort of a place for me to upload random gameplays or my full walkthroughs of some indie games I'd love to play. And sort of left it at that. I didn't know what to do with it, and I went on my computer and noticed that I've got a lot of gameplays that I've exported from my PS4, but never really knew what to do with it. So, in the background, you're watching a gameplay of Tom Clancy's The Division. I really love this game. Um, I believe this mission's called Rooftop Comm Relay. I haven't played this game in a while, so I don't know all the mechanics or components in it. So maybe you guys can decide whatever. It doesn't really matter. What I want to go into today is some advice giving. Now, I'm no, as a disclaimer, I'm no health expert or, advice counselor or nothing like that. I'm just coming off of my own life experiences and giving advices to the best of my ability. And I've got a question that was sent in a while ago through my Tumblr blog where I used to give advices. And I'm just going to revisit an old question and read the question and go off it from there. Okay, so Anonymous asked, I recently moved in with my grandma because last year I kept moving from place to place and I couldn't find a job, so I came here for a safe place to live. But we have fought on and off every week since I've been here. I know she's trying to help, but she doesn't listen to me when I tell her that some things she says are offensive and makes me feel like I can't do anything right. I've resorted to mild self-harm and sometimes have hateful thoughts towards myself. I don't know how to handle it. Alright. Well, it really is sad when I hear from people that they've resorted to self-harm as an alternative. So I'm here to help. I'm to my best of my abilities anyway. So first I want to figure out the fighting problem you have with your grandma. And I understand that your grandma is saying some mean things to you. Maybe in her perspective she is trying to help, but in your perspective it's anything but help. And so the first thing I want to say is you need to get rid of the negativity in your life. Really, if you're resorting to self-harm, that means it's always coming back to this issue of fighting with your grandma, always getting involved with your business, even though I assume you're an adult, maybe. And I suggest things like maybe ignoring your grandma, right? Apparently, trying to get her to understand that her thoughts aren't offensive isn't getting to her, so you can't waste your time here. You can't try and persuade someone when they won't listen to you, right? That's just going to build on more stress on you, and that's just going to make you, sadder. It's going to worsen the conditions, so you need to stop doing that because it clearly isn't working. So you can avoid that kind of interaction with your grandmother by going to some place for a day, maybe a park, maybe a library, maybe going to hang out with your friends or listening to music at home, keeping yourself busy, do homework, draw something, doodle something, go on YouTube, watch videos like you're doing, or whatever. Keep yourself busy. You just need to understand that even if someone else is yapping about your life, you're not going to be responsible for the negative influence. I mean that you need to take control of your life and need to realize that you're the only one who can control how things go in your life. For example, if someone told you to quit school, are you going to do it? Well, not necessarily, right? You're going to make a decision for yourself, for your own good. So you got to ignore the outside influence and worry about self-actions. This sort of relates to your self-harm that you chose as an alternative. Nobody told you to hurt yourself, you just chose to take that route. I think this is where you take control and find a new alternative. Never resort to self-harm. It only leaves scars and hurtful memories. So, what do we do with the hateful thoughts? Just remember that nothing will get better thinking about hateful thoughts about yourself. You have to find encouragements and hope in your life. Some ways I like to do that is by hanging out with friends who care about me, having a long, deep conversation about future with people who are knowledgeable, setting up a new plan that will get me a job, and much more. I've personally had this experience in high school, not necessarily with my grandmother, but just with my friends and my parents in general, where I felt like they weren't caring about me. So, what I did was I went to go visit my music teacher, and I saw him almost pretty much every day. Even on the weekends, he would go to the church that I would go, and I would see him there. He would play some, gospel music. It was very calming. It was very nice. He taught me to be confident in myself, to believe in myself, because ultimately, if you don't believe in yourself, who will, right? Later on, it so far seems to have worked out all right. Um, I never thought I would be going into policing, but now I am. So that was, all thanks to my music teacher, for being so kind and being there for me. So always find people who are going to care about you, someone who can seriously, not joke about it and have deep, long conversations about, right? Even if it's something little that keeps you happy for a while, you gotta keep at it. Exercising helps a lot for a lot of people. Like I said, listening to music, maybe going for a walk, going to a pet store, meeting cute dogs and cats and whatnot. Going for a drive if you have a car, maybe even going out to a bar for a nice little drink, right? Not a lot, you know, but just a little drink. Whatever makes you happy. Keep discovering those. Lastly, I just want to suggest one last thing, and maybe you don't agree with me on this, but when you do find a stable job, I suggest going and finding a roommate to stay with. Right now, I'm a college student, so I am living in a house that is rented out to 4 different students. So I have a manager that lives in the house as well, but along with 3 others actually, because it's including me, it would be 4. So I'm renting the room, and it's surprisingly positive, right? As long as you find good, positive roommates who won't always party, and I'm not that type to, always party and always drink and that kind of stuff. So as long as you find people who are, within the same lines, then I think it's a good way to get away from your grandmother who won't listen to you. So that's a really good alternative if you can find someone reliable and friendly. And I know I said lastly, but this for real, lastly, you gotta remember, you're a great person. No one deserves to get hurt in any form or any shape by anyone, including yourself. You gotta treat yourself to a better alternative and keep your beautiful skin clean and scar free. Stay with people that enjoys your company and keep doing things that make you happy in your life. Stay in those positive mood and everything will look so much better. You'll be able to find a job better because you see the world differently with different attitude. And trust me, that is a big component that employers are looking for. How you look and how you look towards life. Whether you have things planned out for you, for yourself, and whether you're living in a positive manner. I really hope this helps, and I wish you the best of luck in your job search. So that was it. As for my advice, I don't know if something was too repetitive or, too difficult to understand, whether I didn't word it right. I'm not the best speaker out there, so hopefully that made sense. Hopefully the gameplay was interesting as well. If you guys want to hear more advice or more videos of different kinds, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be advice, but it could be just yapping about something, then you can definitely let me know. You don't have to leave a like if you don't like the video. You don't have to subscribe or anything. I don't force people. I just like to do what I find interesting, and which is making videos with the leftover gameplays I have. Anyways, I appreciate watching the video, for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Remember that without the bad times, you can't appreciate the good ones. Bye.